Now we're going to start the Gauss Jordan Elimination. Now we have a system of equations, 3 equations, 3 unknowns, and we need to rewrite this in augmented matrix form. And we've done this before. What I'd like you to do right now is pause me and go ahead and put it in your calculator. I've already got it in mine, so I need you to go ahead and get it in yours. I'm now going to check to make sure I have that matrix. You always need to do this because one wrong sign messes up the whole thing. So you always have to put it in by rows. I check by columns, so it's a different way of looking at it and also being able to check, make sure your negatives are there. Now we want to change this matrix using the elimination method of solving equations, but without having to keep all the variables and everything with us. Because if it's in the first column, these are coefficients that belong to the x sub 1 variables. And if it's in the second column, these are the coefficients with the x sub 2 variables. If it's in the first row, it's one of our equations. So everything is here, like we've done before. But now, when we use this elimination method for solving the equations, there's a certain form that the matrix must take and certain steps that must be followed. Now the method's called the Gauss Jordan, and in the Gauss Jordan method, the main diagonal will always have ones. We have to make it that way. So this position, first row, first column, I'm going to call it 1, 1, is going to have to be changed to a 1. Eventually, second row, second column, it's going to have to be changed to a 1. And third row, third column, or the 3, 3 position has to be changed to a 1. So let's get started and see what the first step is. First column must have a 1 in the 1, 1 position, and all of the numbers below must be a 0. But these changes must be completed in that order. So I need a 1 right here. The only way that I can get a 1 is by multiplying by the reciprocal. So I'm going to need to multiply the first row by 1/4. Okay, so let's go ahead and do it in our calculator. So second matrix, over to math, up arrow, and I need just to multiply, so I need E. So I've got 1 divided by 4. I do not need parentheses because the comma in a way separates it. I've got to tell it the matrix, so second x to the negative 1, or x inverse. I need A, comma, and I want it for the first row. So there's my 1. Now, when you complete a step, make sure what you wanted to have done, you did do it. Now, while I'm going with this, I've got to have a 1 here. That's our very first step in every time we go and work with a column. First row, first column, I've got to have a 1. And I've got to now use this. Here's where the elimination comes in. I use the first row to make the other position 0 by using elimination method. So now, in order to make this 1, either looking at your matrix or back here at the one on paper, in order to make this position a 1, I need to multiply the top row by -1 and then add it to the second row. So let's see if that's what I wrote down right here. So -1 times row 1, add to row 2 to give me row 2. So let's go back. Second matrix. Uh-oh, I forgot to store sugar. So let me quit. Second quit. It's still there. Whew. So store. Remember, every time you do something, you've got to store the thing. Okay, it's there. Alright, now, second matrix, over, up. This time, remember, I want to multiply and add, so I need the F. Now let's go in order. I need -1, comma. I need my matrix A, comma, first row, comma, second row, because I want to multiply -1 times my first row, add it to row 2, but I need that answer stored in row 2. So there's my 0. That's what I wanted. So store second matrix. So now to make this position a 0, I'm going to multiply first row by -2. So let me get rid of this right here and add it to row 3. Okay, so second matrix over, up to multiply, add. So I need -2, comma, tell it the matrix, comma, 1, comma, 3. There's my 1 and the rest is 0. So let me store this before I forget. Okay. So there's my matrix. Now, second step. Now notice first step is referring to first column, first row. Second step is going to be about second column and second row. So the second column must have a 1 in the 2, 2 position. That's where this value is right here. And all other numbers in the column must be 0. These changes have to be completed in this order. But now it's easier if I see the fractions, because some of these might be horrible looking decimals, and I have to have exact values. Remember, I can go frac this. So let me go math. Okay, so first thing, let me move this on down here. Notice I fracked it. And you can go ahead and write down all of these steps that need to be completed before you do it in your calculator. So I need a 1 in the second row, second column, so I'm going to multiply by -4/3. Okay. Now I need a 0 up here, so I'm going to, now once we do this, I'm going to assume that I'm going to have my 1 there. This is why we always have to do this first. Now to get a 0 in this position, I need the opposite, which would be a +5/4. So a +5/4 times row 2, add to row 1 to give me my new row 1. And for this position, I need the opposite, which is a -3/2 times row 1, add to row 3 to give me my new row 3. So let's go do these one at a time. Always do getting the 1 first. So second matrix over to math, go up, and I need to go up again because I need to just multiply first. So a -4 divided by 3. Tell it the matrix, tell it the row. And there is my 1. So store second matrix. Let's go do the next step, 5/4. So I need to multiply, add. So second matrix over to math, up. There's my multiply, add. 5 divided by 4, comma, second matrix, comma, 2, comma, 1. There's my 0 there. So store second matrix, second matrix over, up to there. I need a negative. You could do 1.5 if you wanted, comma, second matrix, tell it the matrix I need, comma, 2, comma, 3. And there's that 0. So store second matrix. I went ahead and fracked it, so let's do that. Math, frac. So there it is. Alright, now notice the first column's complete, second column's complete, now the third column. I need a 1 in third row, third column position. Always get the 1 in the correct position first, then everything else in that column must be a 0. So let's move on down here. So I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. So that would be a negative 1/4 times row 3. I always start at the top and work my way down. That's just how I do it. I need a 0 here, so I need the opposite. So I'm going to do a negative 13/3 times row 3, add to row 1 to give me my new row 1. And in this position, I need the opposite. So I want a negative 14/3 times row 3, add to row 2 to give me my new row 2. Okay? And we're almost done. So let's go back and let's do the rest of it in our calculator. So second matrix, over to math, up one more because all I need is multiply, enter, negative 1 divided by 4, comma, second matrix, tell it the matrix I want, comma 3. And there's the 1 in that position. So store second matrix. Once you do enough of these, you get fast. So quit grumbling. I need the multiply add. So negative 13 divided by 3, comma, second matrix, enter, comma, 3, comma, 1. There's that 0, store, second matrix, enter, enter. Last thing, so second matrix over up. I need that one. So negative 14 divided by 3, comma, 3, comma, 2. Uh-oh, I forgot to put in the matrix, which is good. You might need to see this. If you forget to put in something, if you'll do a second insert, you have a different cursor here. So second matrix, enter, comma. Now, is that how I need it? So negative 14/3. I want to go to matrix A, multiply row 3, add to row 2 to give me my new row 2. There it is. Store. So these are nice decimals. Okay. Let's see what I have here. So, or you could change it to fractions. If they're real nasty looking decimals where you have that dot 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 and it goes off your screen, you need to go frac it. Now if they're nice decimals, I'll take either this one or this one. So to finish this up, x sub 1 should equal 3.25, x sub 2 should equal negative 0.5, and x sub 3 should equal 3.25. Now you need to change the following matrices back into equation form because these are what the majority of our matrices will look like when we use the Gauss Jordan to it. Okay? So this one, x sub 1 would be negative 7 and x sub 2 would be 3. X sub 1 would be 3, x sub 2 would be negative 2, and x sub 3 should be 5. And I think that's it for this particular video. Okay? Yep, there's the next one. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.